Welcome to my channel, The Traveling Kenyan. And very first time in Fort Augustus, Scotland. So we're going to see what this place is all about. We are in the Highlands of Scotland, and I've always wanted to come to this place and check it out. It has a very old feel about it. And it has a bit of history as well. One of the famous bits that we have here in Fort Augustus is pretty much the center of Loch Ness. The Loch Ness runs all the way up to here, and you have cruise boats that come over here, the ferries people, to check out this place. So there's aspects to the history of Loch Ness, as well as the Caledonian Canal. It runs through this place. So I'll turn my camera around and you can have a look and see what this place presents. So there's a famous abbey here. I can see that's an abbey cottage. So I think this is one of the reasons this place is also known, because the abbey was very central to this place. I don't think the abbey functions anymore. It's been turned to, I think, bed and breakfast or accommodations for tourists. But as you can see, it's very much a tourist hotspot. You see Chinese restaurants and gift shops and that kind of thing. So let's just cross over and have a look. Yes, you have stuff here really geared towards the tourists and stuff. Stained glass windows, well, church glass looking windows, quite pretty anyway. And as you can see there, Loch Ness monster. So Nessie, so it's pretty much central to this place. See, lots of gift shops and stuff. It's quite interesting. Highland cows. Yeah, so as you can see here, we have the cruise ships coming through. Loch Ness, and I don't know whether this is where they end up, but I'm sure you can get a bit of a tour. So it's pretty much incredible. So yeah, you need to have a ticket. You can buy online or a ticket office. And there we go. That's one of the boats there. So, and this is the Clansman Center. So I don't know what this is all about, but Scottish crafts and gifts. So I kind of get a vibe get a bit of a tourist kind of history situation, and stuff being sold as well. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting, but anyway, I'm not quite sure, but you get the idea anyway. So let's take a bit of a tour and see what else we can see here. It suddenly feels like a very small place. That's kind of what I get. It sounds like a very tiny place, but we'll get an idea. Oh, here's a Victoria Jubilee, and I think this is in commemoration of the Jubilee during the reign of Queen Victoria. That's it. I think there's the fountain should have been working, but I think it's all pretty much plants growing now, but I totally get a quiet vibe. You can kind of sit. Let's look at this. European competition for towns and villages in bloom. So I think it is a flower competition that takes place, and oh, nice. So you can relax here, and obviously the daffodils are out, so that signifies we're in spring in Great Britain. So yeah, that's very, very beautiful. And there's a chart here as well telling us a bit about Fort Augustus. So you have Inverness, where I came from, and Fort Augustus is here. So it's in the middle between Fort William and Inverness, pretty much. And as you can see there, that's the Loch Ness, you know, and I take it that's the Caledonian Canal that will be flowing through, like boats will be. Yeah, so it just kind of gives us a bit of an idea, and I think about the Scottish history and how the canal was built. And for those tourists visiting either from China or the Far East, I can see there's also a bit of a translation there in Chinese otherwise. So it's incredible. It's very, 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 very good. So let's keep checking out. So we have a restaurant here called the Bopi. Oh, nice. Let's see what they have for today. Oh yeah, haggis on toast with drumberry sauce. Oh, that sounds good. Smoked salmon and prawn cheesecake. So sounds like they really have smoked salmon and prawn, and all those tend to be more or less, you know, kind of Scottish based meals really. So yeah, so far the vibe that I'm getting here is very chill. It's a Monday, mind you, so probably I've come at a time when it's very, very quiet. As you can see, businesses are looking closed. I would imagine, you know, Wednesday going onwards, this place will be pretty busy. So yeah, Monday I would imagine is, you know, it's not many tourists going out and about or anything like that. And probably tours, this is my assumption anyway. I stand to be corrected, but I really get a very quiet vibe in this place so far. But I'll turn the camera around and we can see a little bit more. So yes, it's tea rooms, and you know, it's all shut down for now. And I'll take a walk a bit along the canal so we can see what this feat of engineering is all about. So yeah, a lot of, you know, monster activities. You can see on that poster there. So I suppose it's aimed for kids. But again, yeah, Loch Ness monster and the Highland cow. That's a very cute looking one actually. Yeah, so if you're ever visiting around this place, you might want to bring your kids and check out that store. But there's benches along there, and you can see people just enjoying their fish and chips. You know, that's a very UK-wide staple. And I think this is the fish and chip shop, as you can see there. So that's incredible. And yeah, you just get your fish and chips and sit by the canal there. And that water just adds a bit of that feel of serenity. So check out some more. Hopefully I can cross over somewhere next to this vehicle. Oh, here with the steps coming up here. And look at that, the houses there. They look very old, if you know what I mean. Up in those, you know, the building there looks, you know, very old stonework there. Quite incredible. So let's check out this canal. Wow, that's some volume of water there. And I think the way this works is, I think the boat comes there, then they have to open it and let this rise a bit. So you get the idea. So as you can see there, the water level is a bit high. So they'll close that for a while for this to level up. And it allows for the ships to really get a good safe passage, and on it goes until you get to Loch Ness itself. So that's pretty incredible. So let's cross over and just check out some more. And they have some safety ring there. I don't know why one would want to jump here, but I can imagine on a hot weather, you know, summer's day, people might get an idea to kind of, you know, do a dive to cool down, but that will be a dangerous feat. So, but very, very nice, cute cottages. I'm looking at one over there, and that looks just amazing. You know, the garden pots and everything. It looks pretty cute. And this just, you know, pretty much, you know, sums up the situation about this place, because you have little cottages over here, you know, very old, wildy kind of buildings, and it just gives a very, very cute vibe about this place. So as you can see there we go. So let's just climb up here a bit more and check out. Yeah, so I don't know what you guys think, but I'm actually loving this place. But I don't know about living here. On my way coming up, it felt, coming from Inverness, it felt a bit isolated, really. So I'm always trying to think, God, what will be there to do over here? I can just try. I suppose there's a lot of outdoors stuff, you know. So if you're into mountain walking and climbing and hill walking, trekking, that kind of thing, this place will be ideal for that. You know, camping, I would imagine there'll be a lot of that. There'll be a lot of trails. So that will be one other thing that people tend to do here, you know. So in terms of if you want to go to your cinema and all that, there may be one locally here, but I don't know. But you might have to go probably to Inverness, or, you know. So yeah, it kind of feels very, very quiet, very, very laid back. But that can be a good thing. It's not a bad thing, you know. But if you're that kind of person who needs a bit of city exploration and all that, then yeah, it's very, very laid back. So let me just turn the camera around, and you can see some of the boats. So as you can see there, so you have all those little boats that will be passing here. So, you know, so that's incredible. Yeah. And that must be a hospital or something. So interesting. Yeah, so Caledonian Canal. Let's walk on the other side. I'm just walking back. to see what we can check out. As you can see, there are mountains on the side, and I would imagine winter time here will be very, very, very cold. That's the impression I get anyway. You know, because you're pretty much in the valley, and there isn't much trees to shelter you from either side. But yeah, like I said, there's always winter activities as well. Snowboarding, I would imagine there'll be a ski center somewhere here, I assume. But let's walk along here and show you some of these nice cottage looking houses. So as you can see, that's a lovely, lovely looking house. I don't know whether that's a B&B, but and that's a nice, you know, tiny looking cottage. And I imagine this is a place where everybody tends to know everybody. You know, it's very, very tiny, and you know, people are likely to know your neighbors, you know, so it has that community feel. That's kind of the impression I'll be getting from this place, you know. And look at that. So there's I don't know whether that's a river or what, but it looks, can you imagine, look, from that house, kitchen overlooking the river, that must be some scene, that. So yeah, overall a very quiet day here, laid back. I've been told this place, come over the weekend, it's full with tourists. You know, we have now coming into good weather, and the tourist season will soon be coming back. And you know, that's bound to really get a lot of football for the local economy here. So yeah, incredible. So this looks like some heritage center. I can see a sign here. Not sure what exactly it is, but let's check it out. Yeah, so poet Robert described the lock building work going on here. Oh, okay, so there's a poetry going on there. Such an extent of masonry upon such a scale I'd never before beheld. It was a most impressive and memorable scene. Men's horses and machines at work, digging, walling, paddling, going on, men wheeling barrows. Wow, incredible. So I think this is like the Great Glen Ways. Beautiful. Yeah, so some history here, guys. This place seems to be steeped in quite a lot of, you see, and you can imagine, like that poem says, you know, no machinery back then, you know. I think this was in the 1800s when the construction, early 1800s when the construction began. You know, so obviously horses and, you know, pretty much very manual work. And they came up with something that has stood the test of time, you know. So it just goes to show the feat of engineering and the skill at the time that has enabled such a system, you know, the canal to really thrive to date. So I'm just coming towards, we'll just walk on this side. So guys, as you can see there's, I think that's a cashmere shop. So it's all really, you know, geared for the tourists and everything. So it's a good place. It's and here, I think there's a river. I don't remember the name of it, but it's and that's an old-fashioned wooden bridge as well. So that's incredible. And that's what I've noticed. A lot of bikes here, guys, you know. a lot of people on their bikes, and so this strikes me to be a pit stop of some sort where bikers tend to come and pretty much get to refuel, re-snack, you know. So yeah, that's the impression I get anyway. And I think we could be coming to the end. Certainly I get a feel that there's not much on this side. But we'll have a look anyway. Yeah, incredible, incredible. I was wondering if I could run into some local and just ask them what living here is like, just to get an idea. The other thing I like to do is check on like estate agents' offices to see what the house prices are. For some in the audience, that may be of interest to find out, I wonder, you know, that sounds like a place where I could appeal to my lifestyle. A lot of outdoors and everything. I wonder how much houses cost there, you know. So, and as you can see, guys, there's flags there. So obviously American, Canadian, Spanish, Italian. So they're pretty much targeted to tourists, really, you know. So it's a very, very much. You have your fish and chip shop there as well. That's kind of what tourists like to try when they come to Scotland. And certainly there's plenty of it. And like I said, guys, it's just cute houses on this side as well. You know, it's just nice tiny cottages, nice gardens, and, you know, daffodils all over the place. And yeah, it certainly does look very cute. And it's just residentials from this point on. Yeah, it has that feel that I'll just turn around. It has that feel that this is just a very chilled place. So yeah, this has been very interesting, Fort Augustus. And it will be interesting, guys, to know what you guys think. You know, what do you think of this place? Is it somewhere you can see yourself living? Is it somewhere that you kind of like, you know what? In this current day and age where everything is a bit, you know, probably a place like this will be something that appeals to you. Who knows? So let me know what you think down below on the comments. I do a lot of travel videos and stuff, so if this kind of videos appeal to you, subscribe to my channel, follow me, and we get to explore. I get to show you places. I get to show you, you know, small tiny places that probably most YouTubers never cover. You know, I've been in Scotland for a while, so I know all those little places that yeah, majority of travel content creators may not even know, you know. So I can give you that perspective, you know. Fort Augustus is very famous. It's somewhat like a conduit or a passage point for, you know, if you're coming from Inverness going to Fort William. This is a place that buses pass and that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's very, very well known. I'm not saying it's, you know, it's one of those unique places that not many people know. It's very, very well known. But I've just not seen enough content covered about it. So I thought I'll bring it to light and get to show you that. So I'm just going to head up back to the cottage and see. So this is me walking back. Yeah, so quite an interesting place. So that's another perspective, guys. So you can see the boat there. And yeah, so, and there's an old fashioned board over there, probably worth checking out a tiny bit, guys. Let's just have a look. Yeah, so that's a very old-fashioned looking. It's just very interesting. It's different compared to all these new boats that you have here. So I wonder, it just caught my interest. But certainly worth checking it out. Yeah, so I don't know whether it gets to run, but I get the feeling it's just been stuck here, or it's probably a rescue boat or something like that. So yeah, but that's quite interesting. Yeah, and there you go, guys. Beyond that, there you have it, Loch Ness. And then obviously as you come here, that's your Caledonian Canal. So absolutely. And as you can see, that boat has some capacity as well. You can, I see there's an upstairs bit as well that you can get to see. So pretty incredible. So yeah, and I think that's a restaurant as well, so pretty good. Nice. I think it will be a lot of seafood pizza, and on a good summer's day I would imagine people will be seated here and having drinks and stuff. So on a good weather, that's always a good thing. So yeah, this is Fort Augustus, guys. So I'm going to be heading back because there isn't much else to see. If you're joining me, this is a very small place, a small town, but it's very famous for the canal, Caledonian Canal, and the mystery that is Loch Ness Monster. And there you go, guys. That gives you an idea of the canal system itself, as you can see there. Pretty cool, eh? So absolutely marvelous. So yeah, we'll just head back and scout our next location, guys, you know. And I think there are operators here, guys, who operate this swing bridge. So pretty good. Right. So guys, it's been a pleasure showing you around, and if you like this kind of travel content, like I said, my edge is that I give you those unique views that you don't get to see from other content creators. And I like doing this sort of travel videos and stuff like that. So again, I am the Traveling Kenyan. Please follow my channel, subscribe, and leave comments if you like this video, you liked what you see. Let me know what aspect of the video you liked, and if you've been here and you think that I've portrayed this place accurately, let me know the good points and also the bad points as well. You know, just be kind, you know, leave constructive comments, and you know, I aim to improve my content creation, so it's always good to get comments, it's always good to get feedback, you know. But until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe.